I still remember the day I realized something had to change. At 72, I was standing in front of the bathroom mirror, rubbing my aching shoulders and wondering why I felt so sore and tired after a simple morning workout. It wasn't anything extreme, just a bit of light stretching and a short walk, but the pain afterward lingered for days. It was more than just stiffness. It was a nagging, draining sensation that made me think twice about exercising the next time. That day, I thought about friends my age, some in their late 70s, a few even in their 80s, who seemed to recover from activity so much faster than I did. It was puzzling. What did they know that I didn't? Why could they bounce back after a workout while I felt wiped out? I decided right then that I needed to find out. The more I spoke with these friends, the more I noticed patterns in their post-workout routines. They talked about little tricks that weren't well known, habits that seemed insignificant but apparently made a world of difference. Some of these tips defied my assumptions about exercise recovery at our age. It was like discovering a hidden door that leads to a whole new level of well-being, one that most seniors never realize they can access. If you've ever struggled with that familiar post-exercise ache or worried that you might not be able to keep up any activity at all, know that you're not alone. But the real danger lies in just accepting that pain as a normal part of aging, because that mindset can lead us to stop moving altogether. And when we stop moving, we risk losing mobility, independence, and even the confidence to stay active in the ways we enjoy. This is important because exercise, even gentle exercise, is crucial for maintaining bone density, muscle strength, and overall vitality. If we give in to the idea that soreness or fatigue is simply an inevitable part of getting older, we run the risk of accelerating the very decline we're trying to prevent. The good news is, there are proven methods to help you bounce back faster from your workouts, so you can keep doing the things you love, whether that's gardening, taking a long walk with the grandkids, or simply staying limber enough to climb the stairs without wincing. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore 5 key insights that most seniors don't know about post-workout recovery. Stay with me until the end, because the final point might be the most surprising of all, and it's something that most people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond never think to try. What makes this so exciting is that these approaches aren't just my personal opinion. Over the last 2 decades, more doctors and specialists have started to shift their perspective on senior fitness, focusing not just on exercising, but on how to recover effectively. By blending common sense practices with these newer insights, you might be amazed at how much better you can feel after physical activity. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe or follow along so you won't miss out on future discussions about staying healthy and independent in your golden years. If you find this content helpful, let me know in the comments with a simple one. And if it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0 and tell me why. Your feedback is what helps me keep sharing the best, most relevant information. Now let's explore the first of these 5 overlooked secrets. It challenges a conventional belief about recovery that many of us have grown up accepting as fact. Once you hear it, you might find yourself thinking about post-workout soreness in a completely new light. Because the truth is, there's real hope here. Hope that you can keep your body active and strong no matter what your birth certificate says. Let's begin. Have you ever noticed how everyone talks about drinking more water to avoid dehydration, but few people discuss exactly how to hydrate for faster recovery? Most seniors think it's enough to just drink a glass of water before and after exercise. However, some forward-thinking specialists are pointing out that as we age, our thirst mechanism becomes less reliable. That means we might not even realize we're dehydrated until the body's already suffering the consequences. Think of it like trying to keep a plant healthy. If you only water it when it's visibly wilting, you're already behind. The same goes for our bodies. For years, I believed that simply sipping water throughout the day was good enough, until I met Cheryl, a vibrant 79-year-old who made me reconsider everything. Cheryl started noticing that her energy levels dipped quickly after her daily morning walks. Rather than just drinking more plain water, she began adding a small pinch of sea salt and a squeeze of lemon to her water bottle. At first, it sounded like a trendy gimmick, but it transformed her workouts. She said the difference was like night and day. Suddenly, she wasn't feeling those mid-morning crashes. Her body felt more nourished, and she could do more without the nagging fatigue that used to slow her down. This tiny change provided her with minerals and electrolytes that regular water alone didn't offer. Why does it matter? Conventional wisdom says, as long as you drink enough water, you're fine. But when we sweat, we're losing more than just H2O. We lose electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium. These help regulate muscle and nerve function, and they play a big role in how quickly our bodies bounce back from strain. If we're not replacing them, we're missing a critical step in effective recovery. Here's a simple tip. The next time you take a walk or do any activity that makes you break a sweat, add a bit of flavor to your water, a tiny pinch of natural salt, maybe a slice of citrus. Pay attention to how your body feels afterward. You might notice that post-workout sluggishness starts to disappear. The emotional benefit? It's relief. The sense of dread that you might feel when you think, oh, I'll be sore tomorrow, starts to fade away. Instead, you'll wake up looking forward to your next activity because you trust your body to handle it. Let a little phrase guide you. Replace what you lose. It's not about loading up on fancy sports drinks filled with sugar and artificial flavors. It's about giving your body exactly what it's missing. Natural hydration that supports muscle function and recovery. Now, you might be wondering if you should consult a doctor or nutritionist before making any changes to your diet or water intake. That's always a good idea, especially if you're dealing with any chronic conditions. The point is, proper hydration goes far beyond just chugging tap water. It's about understanding your body's signals and replenishing the nutrients you lose when you move. Let's move on to the second insight, which revolves around the idea of active rest. Before we do, I want to make sure you're still with me. If you're finding this valuable so far, comment 2 below just to let me know you're following along. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so right now. Your presence here means a lot, and your support allows me to keep sharing information that can truly help you feel better day after day. I once thought rest meant total inactivity. If you're sore, you lie on the couch and don't move until you feel better, right? That's how we grew up thinking about it. Don't overdo it, people would say. But there's a misconception here. Total inactivity can actually slow down recovery because it stiffens muscles and joints, reducing blood flow to the areas that need healing. It's a bit like a kink in a garden hose. The water can't flow properly, so the plants don't get what they need. Our muscles are the same. Consider Harold, 82, who used to play tennis in his younger years. Whenever he felt a twinge of soreness or tightness, he'd plant himself in his recliner for a couple of days. He believed he was giving his body a break. Yet he noticed that his stiffness got worse over time, not better. Finally, one of his former tennis buddies recommended something called active rest. Harold was skeptical at first because the idea sounded backwards. When you're sore, you're supposed to keep moving gently rather than stopping entirely. But he tried it. Instead of staying planted on the couch, he began taking slow, easy walks around his block the day after a workout. He also did gentle stretching routines while watching TV. Within just a couple of weeks, Harold saw a dramatic difference. He recovered more quickly, and the stiffness that had plagued him started to subside. It was like adding a bit of oil to a squeaky hinge. The movement kept his joints lubricated and his muscles from tensing up. That's the counterintuitive truth. A little activity actually speeds up recovery more than complete rest. You don't have to go for a 5-mile run. In fact, please don't. But do try moving your body softly. Think of slow stretches, light household chores, or a relaxing swim if you have access to a pool. The key is circulation. Mild movements help increase blood flow to strained muscles, delivering oxygen and nutrients that reduce inflammation and encourage healing. Emotionally, active rest offers a sense of confidence. Instead of feeling helpless and stuck during downtime, you're taking control and giving yourself a chance to heal faster. Here's a practical way to start. The morning after any workout or brisk walk, do a 5-minute gentle stretching routine. Reach above your head, roll your shoulders, rotate your ankles. Each movement should feel like you're gently waking up the body, not punishing it. You might be surprised how quickly your soreness lessens. By embracing active rest, you maintain momentum. That's important because when we allow ourselves to become completely inactive, we risk losing the habit of movement entirely. And for seniors, losing that habit can lead to a domino effect. Less movement leads to more stiffness, which leads to more pain, which makes you want to move even less. The cycle can be brutal. So remember this slogan, gentle movement heals. It's a far cry from how most of us were raised to think about rest, but it could change your recovery game forever. Let's pause for a moment. If you're still here and finding these insights helpful, drop a 2 in the comments so I know you're benefiting from this. And be sure you're subscribed because we've got more eye-opening tips ahead. Thank you for being part of this journey. On to our third insight, which zeroes in on a frequently overlooked aspect of recovery, targeted nutrition. For many years, I assumed that if I just ate a generally balanced diet, I'd be fine. But when it comes to faster recovery, specific nutrients can play a game-changing role. Our bodies crave certain building blocks to repair muscles and reduce inflammation, especially after we've worked them during exercise. And guess what? Most seniors aren't getting enough of these crucial elements. Picture Marilyn, 77, who spent her life working in a bustling office, often snacking on vending machine treats. Even after retirement, she found it hard to shake that routine of quick meals and sugary snacks. When she decided to get active again, going for brisk walks and doing some light strength training, she was constantly sore and fatigued afterward. A family friend suggested upping her protein intake and adding anti-inflammatory foods, like berries and leafy greens, to her meals. Marilyn had never paid much attention to these specifics, but in a matter of weeks, she noticed something remarkable. She wasn't just recovering faster, she was also sleeping better and feeling more energetic. It was as if her body finally had the materials it needed to rebuild and renew. Why does this matter so much for seniors? Conventional wisdom might say, you're too old to worry about that kind of diet, or just eat whatever you can. But the truth is, as we age, our bodies become less efficient at utilizing the nutrients we consume. Protein helps repair muscle fibers. Antioxidants reduce inflammation. Healthy fats like omega-3s support joint health. Without these, it's like trying to rebuild a house with rotten wood. Even if you work out diligently, your body won't have the right tools to bounce back. Here's a practical piece of advice. Take a closer look at your post-workout meals. Within an hour of finishing your activity, aim to include a good source of protein, perhaps some grilled chicken, a piece of fish, or a plant-based option like beans or lentils. Add a colorful side dish with greens or bright vegetables. If you enjoy fruit, something like a handful of blueberries can provide a burst of antioxidants. Don't think of it as a diet overhaul. Think of it as strategically adding a few things that help your body recover more quickly. There's a hidden emotional benefit here too. Empowerment. Knowing that you're actively choosing foods to help your body heal can shift your mindset from passive aging to purposeful living. It's no longer about, oh, I'm old, so I'll just accept being sore. Instead, it's about harnessing every tool you have to stay vital, strong, and independent. Remember this short phrase, feed for faster recovery. It reminds us to actively select foods that assist in healing rather than settling for convenience foods that might sap our energy. If you're worried about cost or complexity, know that simple, budget-friendly items like eggs, canned tuna, frozen vegetables, or cheap fruits in season can do the job beautifully. And if you're not sure where to start, a quick conversation with a nutrition-conscious friend or a community health worker could offer valuable pointers. You deserve to give your body the best chance to bounce back. Moving on to our fourth insight, which might sound almost too simple, but is perhaps the most powerful, the role of quality sleep in recovery. Before we dive into that, let's have another quick check-in. If you've made it this far and these tips are resonating with you, please type 4 in the comments. Your engagement keeps this conversation alive. If you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do so now so we can keep exploring these topics together. We often underestimate how crucial sleep is, especially for those of us over 65. Our bodies do most of their repairs, both physical and mental, while we're slumbering. But as we age, restful sleep can become elusive. Whether it's frequent bathroom trips, aches and pains, or just the mind racing, many seniors struggle to get enough deep, restorative sleep. The common misconception is that you can power through on 5 or 6 hours a night, then just make up for it with an afternoon nap. Let me tell you about Ron, who's 75. He loved his daily fitness routine, but he could never understand why he remained so stiff and groggy after workouts. He felt like he was doing everything right, staying hydrated, eating well, and even doing gentle movements on rest days. Yet the soreness clung to him. Then he began focusing on his bedtime routine. He cut out the late-night TV binging, dimmed the lights in the evening, and sipped a calming herbal tea an hour before bed. He also avoided heavy meals late at night. Within 2 weeks, Ron noticed a dramatic improvement. Not only did he start waking up with more energy, but his post-exercise soreness dropped significantly. The surprising truth is, you can drink all the water and eat all the protein you want, but if you're not sleeping well, you're depriving your muscles of the prime time they need to repair. Consider adding small rituals to your bedtime routine. Maybe a warm bath with Epsom salts, also good for muscles, some light stretching, or a few minutes of reading something calming. Avoid overstimulation from bright screens at least 30 minutes before bed. If you must use electronic devices, consider dimming the screen or wearing blue light blocking glasses. These small steps signal to your body that it's time to wind down. Emotionally, there's a profound sense of renewal that comes from adequate sleep. You're giving yourself permission to rest in the deepest sense, physically, mentally, and emotionally. That can ease feelings of anxiety and stress that often come with aches and pains. I like to say, let sleep be your secret weapon. Because in a world that often glorifies doing more, sometimes what you really need is to do less, especially at night. Now on to the fifth and final insight, one that ties everything together. Picture a technique so simple, yet so few seniors use it: contrast therapy, or more simply put, using both warmth and coolness to speed up recovery. You might have heard of elite athletes who soak in ice baths after grueling training sessions, but that's not exactly what we're talking about here. Instead, think of gentle temperature shifts that you can easily apply at home. Imagine soaking your feet in a warm basin of water for a few minutes, then switching to a cool water rinse, or relaxing in a warm shower and briefly turning it cooler at the end. There's a compelling reason this works. Temperature changes encourage blood vessels to open and close, which boosts circulation. That circulation jumpstart helps deliver nutrients more quickly to tired muscles and whisk away waste products that contribute to soreness. Let me share the story of Louisa, who's 73 and living with mild arthritis in her knees. She discovered that after her morning stretching routine, a quick warm compress followed by a cool compress around her joints significantly eased her stiffness. It was like pressing a reset button for her aching legs. She told me it made her feel like a new woman, one who could greet the day without dreading those first few steps. It might sound almost too good to be true, but it's backed by the experiences of many seniors and supported by a growing number of open-minded healthcare professionals. You can do this with a simple routine. After your workout, take a brief warm shower or place a warm towel on the sore area for about 2 minutes. Then switch to a cooler temperature for about 30 seconds. Alternate a couple of times, always ending with cool. If you prefer baths, you can do a similar approach by moving from a warm foot soak to a basin of cooler water. Pay close attention to how your body responds. Nobody should feel uncomfortable or in pain, but for many the result is an immediate sense of relief and a faster overall recovery. The emotional payoff is huge, a comforting sense of control and self-care. Often, seniors feel that their bodies betray them with aches and limitations. Incorporating this contrast technique can restore a feeling of, hey, I've got a say in how I feel. You're no longer passively waiting for soreness to subside. You're actively speeding up the healing process in a safe, natural way. These 5 insights, enhanced hydration, active rest, targeted nutrition, quality sleep, and gentle contrast therapy, can provide a whole new lease on your post-workout life. Instead of bracing yourself for days of discomfort, you can look forward to staying active and energized, showing the world that your chronological age doesn't define your capabilities. Let's take a moment to recap how these 5 strategies can transform your recovery. Think about a future where your joints feel well-oiled, your muscles bounce back quickly, and you have the energy to do things you might have once thought were beyond your reach. That's the opportunity that awaits when you take these methods to heart. And time is of the essence. Every day we put off taking care of our bodies is another day that aches and fatigue set us back. You don't have to make massive changes all at once. Simply choose one strategy to implement this week, then gradually add the others. Take a second and imagine yourself a month from now, after you've integrated these ideas into your routine. Picture waking up with a newfound sense of comfort in your muscles, the stiffness that once greeted you feeling noticeably less intense. Envision carrying on with your day, be it gardening, meeting friends for a walk, or simply tackling household tasks without the nagging worry of, am I going to pay for this with days of pain? That confidence, that renewed sense of possibility, is worth far more than any short-term comfort you might get from giving up on exercise altogether. I'd love to hear which of these 5 points struck you the most. Was it the idea of sprinkling a bit of salt into your water for better hydration? Maybe the concept of active rest resonated, or perhaps focusing more on quality sleep felt like the key you've been missing. Share your thoughts in the comments and let me know how you plan to put at least one of these steps into action. Even if you're unsure about how to start, voicing your intention is the first commitment toward change. Now I'm going to ask for a small favor. If you found this discussion helpful, please like, subscribe, or share it with someone else who might benefit, perhaps a friend, neighbor, or family member who has been dealing with the same issues. Your support helps me continue researching and sharing topics that can genuinely enhance the quality of life for seniors. If there's one thing I've learned in my journey, it's that we're better off when we face these challenges together, rather than struggling in silence. Remember, you have more power than you think. Your body can do amazing things when given the right care and attention. Yes, we might have to make some adjustments as we age, but those adjustments can open doors to experiences you might have thought were behind you. The next time you finish a workout, whether it's a leisurely bike ride, a gentle swim, or a low-impact aerobics class, remind yourself that you have practical tools at your disposal. You can hydrate smartly, move gently instead of sitting still, feed your body the nutrients it needs, prioritize sound sleep, and use subtle temperature shifts to soothe your muscles. Each choice brings you one step closer to the vital, active life you deserve. Thank you so much for watching and reading along. I hope you feel encouraged and ready to take charge of your recovery process. I look forward to hearing your experiences and insights in the comments below. Whether you adopt 1 point or all 5, you're stepping into a more vibrant future. Until next time, stay hopeful and stay open to new possibilities. You've got this, and I'm rooting for you every step of the way.